So you are soul brother. Number one.
Everybody who is black and interested in black people, let us sit down and find out how we can get together in one direction against one enemy and accomplish this job overnight.
Wrote the lyrics to his song, "A Change Is Gonna Come." It was very direct and to the point. With some changes to it, the song was still digestible. In the year 2019, black folks continue to go through the change rather than direct the change. A community activist named Taalik Ibn'rad has made an appeal similar to what Sam Cooke was asking for. A change. It said that the meek shall inherit the earth. We ask when. When will the landlords give the meek a free lease? Mr. Ibn'rad is humbly asking for the state of Mississippi. This is Dusty Basement Studios, and we approve of this message.
Right. Bro, you a genius. I ain't gonna lie. This is like, bro, you was a genius. I swear. You're gonna go down like a Elijah Muhammad or a Mal.
Well, I'm their child. You know, we all their children.
Yeah, but bro, you know, you your own. You different, bro. I mean, to think of that. I mean, bro, this is genius. Like, I don't just say stuff just to be saying it. Like, I swear to God, bro, you are really on something to come up with this. I don't know how you came up with this.
But Charles Blow talks about the fact that if you really want black power, consider going into 6 states. Now, I'm going to combine this with what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us as it relates to get states that you control. And so when you look at the idea of returning back to Louisiana, as far north as Maryland, Alabama, okay, the Carolinas. There's a lot of black folk. Mississippi is the largest state of black folk. More black folk in Mississippi than any other state in the 50s. And so if we were to do that and go into our own, become our own senators, we would up the amount of black senators immediately, Congress people immediately. We would up, and by the way, when you run in the state, when you run in certain things, you don't have to ask nobody for reparations. They give you reparations. Something we can do. This is doable.
The Mississippi campaign represents everything that you claim that you want. The beginning of an all-black independent nation, the ability to control your own resources, your politics, the law, be able to do your own thing for a change, create an economy that Africa or anybody on the planet would want. You think you don't want to do nothing. 3 hours talking about the Mississippi campaign.
Our theme this year is After Purge Comes the Heal. Shout out to your platform, Taalik. All the best to you guys with continuing to stretch in perspective, to stretch in what is possible, and to continue to bring healing into the space of yourself and others. Yes.
Just keep it going. Just keep it going. And you don't realize it. You don't realize it that God has been in prison. The devil was able to imprison God. So right inside your own self, your God self has been in prison, and you have a false sense of self running rampant inside the temple. This is why, you understand what I'm saying? Yes, we have to bring reality temple here on earth. Reality temple here on earth. We have to realize the enemy is running rampant inside this temple.
And that is Brother Taalik from the Reality Temples on Earth channel. And if you get a chance to subscribe, please do subscribe to his channel. He's a good brother. You know, he's doing good work, and he wants to do good constructive things. He has good information to provide. So please do check out his channel if you get a chance.
My brother Angel snubbing up 7 at the Reality Temple. And to give props to him, because I listened to all of Angel snubbing up 7's videos. I think that he comes from a different angle, and there's a powerful message in a lot of the videos that he put out, and I try to catch all of them. I look at him as a free thinker and a person that's willing to challenge those of which he don't agree with or which he may think differently from, and I really respect him for that. He's challenged KNBS, and he has also challenged the Black supremacy movement as well. And I have nothing against that, because that which cannot be challenged cannot stand, and will not stand, and will not survive the test of time. How many challenges we can withstand will determine how long we will be able to stand.
positioning you to being in reality. And this is gonna hurt soul sisters and brothers because a lot of us cannot accept reality. I empower you to, for 1 year, to subscribe to the reality temple on earth. And at the end of 12 months, draw your conclusion of what have you learned in that amount of time. I empower you. You will never, ever, ever think, feel, or entertain nonsense ever again, period. I would like to see my soul sisters and brothers awaken. This requires time. You need to spend about a year watching, researching, and looking. Reality Temple on Earth is life-changing, and I stand on that.
In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what we call the Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper, the host of this program, known here on social media, wherever you may find me, I am known as the mighty, mighty, mighty Angel Snub Nub 7. I am your soul brother. To our annual message that we call and for Soul Liberation Day. Our topic is, do Black Americans deserve a promised land like Dr. Martin Luther King spoke of? Before we get into our talk, I would like to dedicate this message and this day to our sister Assata Shakur, H. Rap Brown, who have departed this year. It is very hurtful, as these two persons, I was a child when they were active, and I saw when they appeared on the news, and I saw, even though I was so young, I really didn't understand the struggle at that time. But these were real freedom fighters. Do not get them confused with what you see on YouTube. Don't get them confused by what you see on social media. Don't get them confused with the Black conscious community because they were real. And what we see today is not real. It is all a facade, it is all a show, it is all smoke and mirrors. That's why it has yet to produce anything for the oppressed, for the suffering and the impoverished. None of these are going to jail. None of these are being shot down the street. These are going to the Bahamas. They are going on vacation to Disneyland. They are traveling around the world living lavish lifestyles. But the real freedom fighters on the run, the real freedom fighters suffering in prison and jail or taken to the morgue, the real freedom fighters, because freedom is not free. Somebody has to pay a price, and I honor them as their sacrifice, as their suffering made my and our walk less difficult. And as they ran the course, they passed the baton to us. And either we drop the baton or we grab the baton and carry on the race. I say, now we are out of the race. On social media is not real. There are no Assata Shakurs here. There are no H. Rap Browns here. There are, will you donate to my Cash App Negroes here. So I dedicate these few words, and I hope they are worthy of Assata Shakur. I hope what I say is worthy of H. Rap Brown today. Because with no doubt, and I don't care about what anybody else say, they are honored here. And they deserve that praise. They deserve that honor for the sacrifice and the suffering and even the death that they gave so others could live. I want to give a shout out to our brother Denzel Rogers and a shout out to our brother Gerald, who is new to our channel. I want to thank them for their words of encouragement and their support during this sabbatical. One may say, or one may wonder of why I have chosen not to talk in so long. I really have nothing to say. I have been talking since 2007. And I have been going through trying to get it right. And then when you get it right, others who have not developed tell you that you're wrong. And you know they have not developed because they are still talking about yesterday. And they have not accomplished nothing today, so we know they are not able to accomplish nothing for tomorrow. But they're going to tell me I'm wrong. There's nothing to enjoy because they have nothing for me. I'm out of your league. You can't, like MC Hammer said, you can't touch this. It's a waste of my time. I can only begin to look goofy like these. And I no longer care about being goofy. If you can't go in one door, maybe you can go in through another door. So now I concentrate on another door. And you want to help folks, but sometimes you have to leave them behind. And if you see me again, the worst punishment that you can on another level that you can't deny. Just like it says in the scriptures about the Jesus of the Bible. Speaking of Jesus, and his Father is going to bring his enemies to his feet. So that's what I'm going to do. Seek another door. And you have no choice but to give me my props, whether you like it or not. All of these folks, thousands of followers, millions of dollars in cash app, and you have nothing. And you're happy-go-lucky. 12 years to build a school. And that's acceptable. 50 years to do this. It was a brother on here. I said, well, brother, how long is it going to take for you to do it? Maybe another 100 years. You're going to wait another, you don't even have another 100 years to wait in your life to see whether or not it's true or false. You got to wait 100 years. So here I am on my channel telling you in your lifetime what you can accomplish within the next 10 years, 15. And you laugh, but you going to support somebody that said, well, it might take me another 100 years. It's going to take me 20 years. It's going to take me another 30 years. Because really they don't know. They just putting numbers out there. But at least the brother was honest. He said, hey, 100 years. Wow. There's nothing to talk about. I've said all I need to say. I don't like to repeat. I don't like redundancy. Nothing to talk about. Not going to argue and debate with silly people, immature people, dead people. You say that you are awakened. There's nothing awakened about you. You're just as dead as the people that you call dead. Because living people make moves. Dead people lay on a slab in the morgue and they don't move. And you don't move. You talk, but you can't do. Let's get into our talk. I'm stupid. What? I'm stupid. You won't hear nobody call themselves stupid. All these YouTube channels and all these people with all these opinions, you'll never hear them say, hey, you know, I can be stupid. I'm stupid. Because if they tell you I'm stupid and you are impressed because you don't think for yourself, oh, this guy, oh, he got a lot of wisdom. Y'all need to hear him. He's smart. He intelligent. Donate to his Cash App. If they told you and admitted that they are stupid, they couldn't get your Cash App. I ain't giving my Cash App to no stupid person. So they have to paint themselves as intelligent as possible and say things that you like. Because if they say things you don't like, you won't donate to their Cash App. And I am an example of that. Because I say things you don't like. Giving you nothing. Forget you and your Cash App. And they take your Cash App and they take your donation so they can pay their bills. They don't do nothing in the community. And you see them go on vacation in the Bahamas or Tahiti or go to Africa or whatever. Not doing a damn thing for you. But that's all right. Because they smart. They intelligent. They're not stupid like me. Why would I want to support somebody who's stupid? Huh? Well, it's Sunday, y'all. Well, why would you want to support somebody that's stupid? Because I'm stupid, I can admit. There's a song in the lyrics, and it says, everybody plays the fool sometime. It didn't say some people or this people. It said, everybody plays the fool sometimes. Everybody plays the fool. There's nobody on this planet, including Donald J. Trump. I don't care how smart, I don't care who you think you are. Everybody can be played a fool. You love those who paint themselves as intelligent. Oh, they got the information. They done the research and they put all these books behind them and they talk all this glamorous life stuff that you like. They tell a story real good for ya. Who else likes stories? Little children. Daddy, read me a bedtime story. And so you go to the House of Consciousness. You go to Moore's World TV. You go to Umar Johnson. You go to all these people that can tell you a story. A bedtime so that you can stay asleep, so you can sleep good. The best storyteller, somebody that can tell you that you're a king and you're a queen and melanin in your skin is superior over everybody and all this stuff. Even though you've been black all your life, you don't see what the melanin has done for you. You've been around, you're a king and a queen, you have no kingdom, you have no land, you have no resources. They keep telling you about something in the past, but you don't have nothing right now. But that's all right, because they feeding you these bedtime stories so you can feel good about yourself. And then they say, don't forget to donate to my Cash App. When I was growing up, and I grew up in the black community, what you call the black community, when I was growing up, it was also soul brothers and sisters, the soul community, when I was growing up. And in our vernacular, in our slang, we used to say, hey brother, hey sister, you need to keep it real. We don't say that no more. It's not part of our talk no more. We like this. We like to talk about, and that never dies. We keep a bitch and hoe and nigger and all. We keep those words strong in our talk. But I don't hear brothers and sisters talk about you need to keep it real. Because in our subconscious, we know we're not real. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad used to always talk about we live in a Barnum and Bailey world. Nothing is what we think it is. And that's what social media is. That's what all this YouTube and Facebook, it ain't real. It's bedtime stories for little kids, and that's you. For little children. So when a grown person, when an adult come and give you an adult talk, what you talk about? That's just like a college student trying to talk to a kindergartner. You're not on the same level. But even some kindergartners want to learn. I don't know what you talked about. I want to learn. Then you got some kindergartners, I just want to play. I can't handle that. That's you. They're not on my level. Some of you even understand, but you're so childish and you're immature and you don't have any damn heart. So you can't stand with the truth. So you want to go back to sleep because it feels better to be asleep. Because when you wake up, you got to move. You got to be alive. And you don't want to be alive. It's better to lay in bed. I'm conscious. Conscious don't mean you're going to do anything. Conscious just means you're aware that it's time to go to work, but your ass still laying in bed. But you conscious. It's time to go to work. The alarm clock has gone off, but you still laying in bed. It don't mean you're going to do anything. So I'm black conscious. It just means that you are aware. It means I'm awake, but don't mean you're going to do a damn thing or can do a damn thing. Daddy, read me another fairy tale. So if you want fairy tales, if you want somebody to read you a bedtime story, go to General Sarah Seti, go to Young Pharaoh, go to Pharaoh Said That, go to Moore's World TV, all this stuff that y'all listen to. They give you the bedtime story, make you feel good. I'm not here to make nobody feel good. I'm not here to make myself feel good. I'm here to keep it real. So I can say I'm stupid because I'm being real. Ooh, sometimes I can say I'm stupid because I can be wrong. You never hear these people, even when they are wrong, you never hear them confess and admit, I was wrong. I'm in error. You never hear them say, I don't know. They know everything. And you get the teachings and you get the scholarship. Nobody can't tell you nothing. And then when you meet somebody like me and I break your ass down, or you a coon, you a Sambo, whatever. You start turning into the child that you really are. Daddy, will you read me another bedtime story, please? Read me a bedtime story, Daddy. Because you're a child. And on this channel, you ought to see them and go watch the videos. Watch them get broke down. People come here. Like little children. Adults. So I can say I'm wrong. I can say I don't know. And there's no shame to say that you're stupid. Because all of us can be tricked. All of us can be wrong. I don't give a damn if you believe in something 50 years. You believe in something that was wrong for 50 years. Did you see Malcolm X's face when he had to denounce the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? I saw the error in my ways, and you got to keep pushing. People work on your car. It's possible they can put on the wrong alternator. That's life. There's nobody perfect. We make mistakes. We make errors. The problem is not being stupid. The problem is not making a mistake. The problem is not being in error. The problem is staying stupid. The problem is when we make these mistakes, when we see our error, we don't try to fix it. We try to justify being wrong. We try to justify being in error. There's no shame in being stupid when you learn from your mistakes. And stop making the same mistake over and over. It's when you haven't learned nothing from the mistake. the scammer, these teachers, they never say that they are wrong. They never say they make mistakes. They never say, I don't know. They never say, you know, you got a good point. They never say those things. They're always, everything they teach, everything they believe in is the truth. But when you challenge it, it all falls apart. But they don't want to admit that. Lazy people really don't want to work. You want to believe in something that's not true. And these suckers have the nerve to attack Christian people. You ain't no damn better. They believe in Jesus. They stand on Jesus. That's their right. And you laugh at them. You do the same thing. I stand on the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. I stand on the teachings or whatever John Henry Clark taught. I stand on Ashwa Kwesi. I stand on Noble Joe Ali. I stand on whoever. You do the same thing. But you think you better. You think you smarter. But you're not. And so the problem you really don't want solved. Your little children laying in the bed, listening to fairy tales, and the problem is like a dog chasing his tail over and over again. You just go round and round in the same circle. So I can admit I'm stupid. And I'm not going to do the same idiot stuff over and over again. Because to do the same thing over and over again is a reflection of insanity. To do the same thing over and over again and you expect a different resolve, a different result. You're not going to get it. We are in a worse condition now than we were during the civil rights era. Because they really didn't know they was experimenting. They just knew they had to deal with the enemy and did the best they could. You're supposed to know better. But you don't. My actions, my being stupid, caused me to lose 10 years of my life. Because I became emotional. And I allowed myself to have a one-track mind. I became loyal to a detrimental thought process. And I allowed my emotions to take over. And the sad thing about it is that I could have actually been killed by the police. And the person that I had a conflict with, that person could have murdered me. I wasn't thinking. And later to find out that the person that I had conflict with in 2018, that person murdered his whole family. So if this person murdered his whole family, and I knew he had a gun and probably used the same gun that I know he had, he could have easily took my life. Because now murder. You can kill your family. Huh. Who am I? Black Americans, soul brothers and sisters, We are an emotional people, not spiritual. You call emotion spirituality. No, you are emotional. You are an emotional people. And whenever you concentrate or allow any emotion to dictate your mind, whether it's you are too angry, too happy, or too sad, proper thinking, and you cannot reason when you allow yourself to become, you have no control over your emotions. When it comes to religion and this blackly black scholarship, and some of you sissies, if a man talk good about women, as soon as you can't hardly even get it out your mouth, you get emotional. Oh, no, brother, women don't, women's supposed to, why they do, women supposed to do, how come you don't believe in Jesus? You wrong for that, black Negro. Don't talk about my messenger, Elisha Muhammad. Don't you talk about Noble Jew Ali. Don't you talk about Dr. Umar Johnson. They get upset real quick. Because you're not spiritual, you are emotional. Because these things that you have rallied yourself around make you feel smart. And in the United States of America, because we have been made or put on such a low level, we want to feel smart. I want to feel like I know something that other people don't know. And I want to teach you. Now you feel special because now I can teach. First you was just a student. Now I've done my research. I got the information. So let me teach. Because in this country, you've been nothing but a slave. In this country, you've been nothing. So now the teachers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we got the supreme wisdom. Now you have the teachers of Noble Jew Ali. Oh, now I studied Kemet or whatever these things. Oh, now I'm a Native American. That's something new or whatever. Anyway, now I go back to ancient Native American customs. Oh, you feel smart. Oh, I don't even eat the same. I'm a ultra vegetarian. I saw a video where this brother talk about he don't eat food or nothing. He eats the air. He's an Aratonian. I don't know. Stupid stuff. He's dead now, I guess, from eating spoiled air, I guess. We believe anything. As long as it feeds our ego because we've been nothing. And it's easier to feel good about yourself when all you have to do is talk. But they can't point to nothing. Well, that's my skyscraper. That's my river. That's my gold mine. That military jet, that's mine. You satisfied feeling good because somebody done taught you something. Now you believe in something, but it don't have no substance. You can't get water from it. You can't get gas from it. You can't make no clothes out of it. And you accept nothing. It don't lead to nothing. You have to be able to control your emotions. There are people, because they could not control their emotions, they actually killed somebody who they loved. But they got so emotional, whatever it was, and let the anger or the sadness or whatever it is take control of themselves, and they killed their mother or father or their own child or parents. And then after they had an opportunity to calm down and think about what they done. Oh my goodness. I killed my mama. I killed my dad. I killed my child. I killed my dog. Woo! Done it out of emotion. When we are emotional, we don't look at life realistically. Whether the emotion is sadness or happiness or anger, especially anger, it causes us not to think and analyze. So you don't make proper choices. And so Black America is an emotional people, and because of emotion, you don't make proper choices. And you wonder why you can't progress. You wonder why you move. You happy, but your condition don't change. You have all this wisdom, supreme wisdom, and you have all this that you know, but your condition don't change. So being emotional got me locked up. 10 years because of emotion. I knew better, but I allowed the emotion and this crazy thinking that was going in my head. And I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know I was going to end up doing 10 years. I figured I'd probably go to jail, spend a few hours. Well, I didn't spend a few I didn't spend a few hours. I don't know what 10 years is in hours. I don't know. That's a long, many, many hours. The consequences of emotion brought me jail time. It brought me shame. And it brought me mockery. You crazy. I wasn't locked up in the regular prison system. I was locked up in the mental institution. So that's a double whammy. Not only are you a criminal, but you crazy too. You're a crazy criminal. And when people don't like what you say, I see why they put you in jail. I see why you was in the crazy house. But if I don't tell them that, and if I talk and bring the fairy tales, these bedtime stories that you love, oh, the white man do that to the brothers. All these innocent black people go to jail, black men being incarcerated. But as soon as you say something they don't like, I see why you crazy. Oh, I see why you're crazy. I see why you was in the nut house. I see why they put your crazy ass in jail. you need to go back. That's how these are the freedom fighters. These are the people that say they love black folks. They get angry, they get emotional. I hope you go to jail. I hope you die. I hope your mama die. I hope your dog die. I hope that you get a plane crash. These are the people begging you for cash out. They're talking about, I love black folks. I'm going to come to your house and kick your ass. I had a brother tell me who loved the black people. He said, I'm going to come to your house and kick your ass. These are the people that love you. As long as you accept their bedtime story. So being emotional I could have actually lost my life. I could have been killed in 1997. I could have been killed. But I was incarcerated. But I'm not ashamed, because I learned my lesson. And during my time, I didn't stay there. I began to develop and evolve, because I'm not going to make the same mistake again. And sometimes things happen to us and we think they are good, like a divorce. There are many people who are living in miserable marriages right now because they don't want to come out into the world with a failed marriage. But you suffering. And so when you divorce, it was the man's fault, it was the woman's fault, blah, blah, blah. You got to go through all that crap. But sometimes it's for the better. There are people who are divorced who are better friends now than when they was married. Sometimes things happen that you think is bad, which turns out to be good. But it's not no shock to me, because we live in America and we know how America is. In a just world, at minimum, I should have got probation. We'll put you on 5-year probation, 3-year probation. But we live in a racist society that's happy to get, especially somebody like me. They look at my background. I'm blackity black and talking all that black stuff. Oh, yeah. Gotta put him away because he might start doing it again. And even though it's not really effective, we don't want him to go out there and spoil our slaves with that stuff. Could cause the black people to start thinking and really looking at stuff. We got to put him away. Put him with the crazy folks. So everything I say, that's twazy. And so you have the black conscious community. You have these people that tell you, that tell us, I love black people. I love black people. I do this for the people. I do this for my people. For the Africans. I do this. But as soon as you disagree, as soon as you say something they don't like, they wish bad on you. The religious folks, God love everybody. God sure do. Allah Akbar. But as soon as you tell them, I don't believe in your God, I don't believe in God, period, and then something bad happened to you, oh, see? See, that's why. See, because God is punishing you. But when bad things happen to them, why don't they say, God must be angry at me for some reason. I got cancer. I got hit by a car. God must be. They never say that about themselves when something. That's life. Whether you good or bad, you can go in an airplane and you might make it to your destination, or the plane could crash. That's the probability. Every time we drive our cars, there's a probability of a bad accident and you won't be going back home. I'm sitting here talking to you right now, and there's hundreds of airplanes in the sky. Who's to say on live stream right here, while I'm talking to you, an airplane come in and crush me to death? That's life. Has nothing to do with no God, has nothing to do with no spirits. That's just life. Good people, you would think they would live a long time. Many good people die at young ages. And some of these evil, wicked, nasty ass folks, you like, damn, when they gonna die? Look at Donald Trump, your president. 80-year-old geezer running around. Piece of trash. And a lot of these others that and a lot of them was racist back in the day, like Joe Biden. Still running around. And people like Dr. King and Malcolm been gone. And we want to wish death. Black folks already have enough problems as is. Why would I sit around here and want to wish death on another brother or sister? You don't have to agree with me. I've been on YouTube since 2007. I've never wished no harm to nobody. Never. I hope you have bad luck because you don't believe what I say and what I do. I've never told nobody that. And they laugh while you suffering. They laughing and giggling at you. For 10 years, family members laughing and giggling. You sure was stupid. You ended up in the crazy house. You sure was dumb. For 10 years. And then when I get out, and I'm not ashamed, so I can tell you, this is what happened to me. Then when they don't like you, y'all see why you was in the crazy house, and they laugh and they giggle about your suffering. You dumbass. And that's how Caucasians, that's how Donald Trump and MAGA, that's how they look at black America. A bunch of confused children. And they laugh and giggle at you every day. And even people like Jay-Z and Beyonce, Oprah Winfrey and Gayle and all our people with money and influence, they know these folks don't really like them. Only because I'm Beyonce, only because I'm Jay-Z, only because I made a name. These folks don't give a damn about you because you're Michael Jackson. They don't give a damn about you. Soon as they get an opportunity, they're going to take your wealth, destroy your crap and take it for themselves. Like what happened to Michael Jackson. Caucasian people run, control Michael Jackson's estate. His own mother don't have no say-so. All that work Michael Jackson did from a child, all in his life. And when it's all said and done, everything went to white folks. Because he lived in a fantasy world. And he was always a slave. Everything you do, go back to your massa. Jay-Z and Beyonce, Will Smith, Jada, or whatever. Whatever you got, whatever black American got in America don't belong to you. It all belongs to your massa. The reality is it all belongs to them. Most of us still carry their names, or we changed our name to some people that don't exist no more, or to some Arabs. You don't control and run nothing. Live in this fantasy world. And all your heroes They feed you this bread and butter. And you happy with nothing. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, why do we love the white man? Why do you love Umar Johnson? Why do you love Louis Farrakhan? Why do you love Moore's World TV? Why do you love Sanetta? Why do you love Young Pharaoh? Why do you love General Sarasun Seti? Why do you love all these people? Because they don't give you nothing. They give you teachings and wisdom that don't produce nothing tangible. Nothing. You're happy with nothing. And the something that you got it from white folks directly or indirectly. That's the truth of the matter. Because you're still a slave. You don't make no laws. You have no control of nothing. Massa give you $1 million. Massa give you some butter biscuits, and you take your happy ass on. And all these teachings do is make you feel like you're not a slave, but the reality is you're a Kemetic slave. You are a Pan-African slave. You are a Black Christian slave. We're nothing but slaves in this country. Don't run nothing. You can't flush your toilet without them. Have nothing, and you satisfied with nothing. So I heard the comedian, what's his name? Epps, Brother Epps. I forgot. He's the comedian. Mike Epps, I believe that's what his name is. I heard him say on a video about black folks. You know, we get all this money and we want to flex. And you can only flex to another slave. He said none of these black people can flex to the white boy. Because your flex, I don't care who you are. If you put all our people with money together, you can't flex on them. You can only flex folks. So you get a little money, houses and their cars. Matter of fact, the house and the car that you bought came from them. And then you have people like MC Hammer couldn't hold on to his wealth and build a $10 million house and end up selling it for $5 million, $4 million, and the white folks move in because you couldn't maintain your wealth. It all go back to them. It all ends up going back to them. And these people you support don't give a damn. I cannot sleep knowing all this is happening. I can't go to sleep knowing that the children will eventually know that mommy and daddy ain't nothing. You're nothing. We're nothing. So you need these corny ass teachings. I'm a god. My melanin. You need all this stuff to make you feel good. And they even control you. Your body. Before Donald Trump leave out of office, some of y'all might end up going to the draft. I ain't going to no draft. Well, you better run. Because they control your body too. Send you over there to Venezuela or whatever they want to send you to. Or go back to Afghanistan. Maybe they have enough of Afghanistan. Go back. I'm Donald Trump. I can do what other folks couldn't do. I'm going to send the troops to Afghanistan. I'm going to beat them. Finally beat the Afghanis or whatever. Or I'm going to go to Somalia. Since y'all Africans, send your African ass back, go to Somalia. And take these bullets with you. So I'm locked up. And I call the people, my tormentors, I call them names like you do. Because that's all you can do. You're not gonna attack no office of the Ku Klux Klan. You're not gonna raid the White House. You're not gonna do anything. The only thing you're gonna do is run your mouth and talk. I couldn't do nothing, so I called the white folks when I was locked up. I called them, y'all a bunch of devils. We love that one, devils. Cave people. What's the other word? Neanderthals. Cave people. You like to call, I called them the children of Adolf Hitler. We like to call people names, like little children do. Some little children call their parents' name. You a boo-boo, because they can't have a cookie. Can I have a cookie? No. You a boo-boo. I'm a what? You heard what I said. You a boo-boo. And so I called them because it made me feel good. It makes the child feel good. Then the parents said, take your ass to your room and don't come back out till dinner time. Your room and don't come out till dinner time. So I'm calling these folks devils or whatever. And the devil told me, that's right, I'm a devil. I'm a devil going home to Christmas. We're going to have turkey. We're going to have ham. We're going to play games and open presents. And your happy ass going to be right here in your room behind bars. Now, how you like that? I'll see you tomorrow. And then I'm not going to see you Christmas Day because that's my day off. Matter of fact, I'm a big shot. I got the whole week off. So I'll see you next week. I felt so stupid. I felt so stupid. That's how you guys do. You call the white man the devil, cave people, and all this other stuff. And then we see you in an ambulance, some police officer done broke your arm, shot you in the ass, and whatever. So what? Don't change nothing. It just makes us feel good. But it don't change. It didn't change my reality. I felt so stupid because I'm calling this guy devils and whatever, and they walking out the door. And I'm still locked up. So you feel good. And that's why you can't do nothing. Because you angry, but you can tolerate your condition because you feel good, because Dr. Umar said that you are Pan-African, you are God, and the Egyptians 5,000 years ago, Jesus gonna fix it one day, gonna come out the sky. Matter of fact, this year it was a bunch of Africans sold off all their earthly possessions. They went into this forest and God's supposed to come out the sky and come get them. They waited and they waited and they waited and nothing happened. And probably still don't feel stupid. Well, we just got it wrong, I guess. Jesus, we must have been at the wrong bus stop. Woo! You still a slave to them. You still treated like a slave to them. You're nothing. And there's nothing Dr. Umar or Moore's World TV or Sanetta or Young Pharaoh or the General Sir Susan Setti and all these people that you listen to, Brother Polite, nothing they can say that's going to change that. That's why they don't harass them. Over 100 of my channels terminated. And now they're attacking me on Facebook. Why? I'm a nobody. I don't have thousands of subscribers. I don't have nobody giving me Cash App donations like that. Why? Because I keeps it real. I'm here to get you to think. You don't have to agree with me. But see, I know once you start thinking, you will agree with me. I don't have to try to convert you. I don't have to sell you no product. I don't have to make you feel good. I know if you start thinking, you're going to say, damn, that brother right. I want some substance. I don't want this feel-good crap. It's like a husband and a wife who want a baby. It feels good making the child, but it don't mean nothing because it's not producing what we want. We want a baby. I don't want to just feel good. I want a baby, but it's not all this. All that, it's not producing nothing. And so you getting the feel good. You getting the pleasure. You getting the pleasure, but you're not getting the baby. It's not producing anything. So you call names. You don't have no power. You don't have no influence. It's like going to a gunfight and the only thing in your pocket is lint. You have nothing. And the reason why you're satisfied because you're asleep. Because you still have a child, you still have a slave mindset. And most of all, to be quite honest, you're scared. Because in order to get what you really want, what you claim that you want, somebody gonna have to die. Somebody gonna have to suffer. Asada Shakur, H. Rap Brown, somebody gotta die. Somebody gotta go to prison. Somebody gotta get hurt. You're gonna lose your job. You're gonna be harassed. You're not ready for what it takes in order to be a free people. It's better to pretend. It's better to pretend. Umar Johnson, listen to all this crap all over YouTube. It make you feel like you're doing something. And they laugh and giggle at you. Black men got together to vote for Donald Trump. It's not one black person in Donald Trump's cabinet. He don't ask you for advice or nothing. You're going to rally. You ought to see all the black men on YouTube. I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. I'm going to vote. For what? Why? Because they mad at the black woman. They mad at somebody or whatever. I'm mad at the Democrat. Because they mad. Emotion. I'm going to vote for Donald Trump because I'm going to demand that you give me. And the only thing these suckers want, they just feel good. Donald Trump don't ask them their advice or nothing. You gave this sucker your vote and you get nothing. Except you feel good because you vote out of emotion, not because not looking for substance. It's just emotional. None of you can talk about no other black folks because all of you are the same. Emotional, childlike, a slave. Ain't nobody better than nobody. There ain't nothing wrong with being stupid. There's no shame in saying I don't know. There's no shame in making a mistake. The shame comes from when we didn't learn nothing. And we keep making the same mistakes over and over again. All this blackity black stuff, you've been on YouTube since 2005. This is 2025, which means 20 years, right? What has all this supreme wisdom? What you know, what has Louis Farrakhan, the Muslims, the Kemites, the Hebrew Israelites, the Native American folks, whatever you Aboriginal, y'all, we've been doing this stuff 20 years. You've been giving folks millions of dollars. You have actually made millionaires out of people like Umar folks. You giving them millions, thousands of millions of dollars. 20 years. And you don't have nothing to show for it. You don't feel you're not embarrassed. You don't feel shame. You feel good about being a sucker. I wish our sister LaWanda Page was here so she could really break it down. What you mean, sucker? You have more education. You have more money in your pocket, but you can't replicate what slaves done who was uneducated, fresh from the slave plantation. You can't replicate what people who were slaves, fresh from this plantation. You can't even, you keep talking about, here we go again. Here we go again. You can't replicate what people did fresh off the slave plantation. 20 years. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Come on, Vogue. We need a new Black Wall Street. How long have, rest in peace, I forgot what the sister's name, rest in soul power, the last surviving member or resident of Black Wall Street. She just died this month, I believe, or last month. I wish I had opportunity to talk to her before she passed this life. We need a new Black Wall Street. Tell the people you giving your money to. And then they believe these suckers, and I think, what's his name? Dr. Boyce Watkins supported the effort or whatever. And all these people, because you falling in love with the idea of a Black Wall Street, but all emotion, you're not asking these people exactly how this is going to be done. How are you going? You put me on the hot seat. Any little thing you think that you can come out your little mind, you put me on the hot seat. That's fine, because I got it all worked out. These people give you nothing. except feed your emotions, because I'm a YouTube personality. I'm popular. People love me. People like me. That's all they need. Gave this man, I forgot what his name was, gave him millions of dollars. And then he made it in a way, everything about Black Wall Street went in the gutter, but he didn't lose none of his money, and a lot of that money went into his pocket. Far as I know, haven't heard from this dude no more. And people like Dr. Boyce Watkins, you don't hear them bring it up no more. And he's still selling his snake oil. How long he been on YouTube? I can make millions. You're not doing nothing for yourself. He's telling you, buy his books and buy his tapes or come to his seminar. He can help you make money. It's all about emotion. We don't care nothing about substance. You have all this wisdom, Mr. Scholar, Mrs. Queen, the kings and the gods of civilization. You got all this melanin and you can't produce a damn thing. Can't even build a dog house. Dog outside, shaking his tail. Icicles on the dog's tail. When is Mr. God of the civilization going to prepare me the dog house? It's cold as a mother. Matter of fact, you can go some places in the hood, they don't have a dog house. They got a dog chained to a tree. The dog don't even have a dog house. I'm like, damn. It says in your scripture, and general talk, my people suffer due to the lack of knowledge. Not any knowledge. It's got to be the right knowledge. Because you can get a plumber's manual, and a plumber's manual is good if you want to work on the sink in the bathroom or toilet. That book, that knowledge is good. But that knowledge cannot help you put on an alternator on your car. You can go through all the chapters in the plumber's manual, which is good knowledge, but it's not the right knowledge for what needs to be done. Because you want to put a alternator on your car. It don't work. It don't work. And that's what I've been saying since 2007. It's not to make mockery. You can believe whatever you want to believe. It's not to make mockery. But you have to have the right tool to fix whatever it is. You have to have the right knowledge in order to deal with whatever. It has to be the appropriate tool to deal with the situation. Now, I've seen a brother work on cars, and he made a fork. I don't know how he done it. He took a regular fork, bent it, and so to replace something in a car. But a fork is not designed to be an automobile part. So it's not just my people suffer from the lack of knowledge. It has to be the right knowledge. It has to be like Vanessa Williams used to sing in her song. It has to be the right stuff, baby. So I'm not making mockery of your scholarship. I'm not making mockery of your books and your research. What I'm telling you is it's inappropriate if you want to change this situation that Assata Shakur and H. Rap Brown was dealing with. It's not appropriate. It can't help you. It can't help us. Nice to know in a university or some school, but it does not help us to change this condition that we find ourselves in. So when I was locked up, I began to use their grievance system. And it was the best I could do. I didn't know anything. I'm ignorant. What do ignorant mean? Child, you shows ignorant. Ignorant only means lack of knowledge. I didn't know. But I saw the grievance system, and I began to, it bothered them a little bit. It bothered them a little bit. But they made those laws, and they control those laws. So it bothered them a little bit, but it really didn't mean too much of nothing. But I did expose that they were doing things that was not even in their law. So it helped a little bit, just a little taste. But using that would help me as time goes on, make me to understand some things. Nobody on this planet wants to grow up a criminal. Nobody on this planet wants to grow up to be a prostitute, a pimp. I never heard no child, when I grow up, I want to be a pimp. I want to be a prostitute. You never hear nobody want to do these. I want to be a murderer. When I get 18, I want to murder. I mean, you might hear some stuff like that nowadays, but in general, you don't hear people talking crazy like that. Children ain't interested like that. I was locked up with people. Some of them did some horrible things. But we never know what will happen to us in life. And we don't know what happened to another person that caused them to be in the predicament like me. You don't really know what happened that caused them to be in that situation. And when you do a horrible crime, horrific crime, you should be punished. There's no doubt about it. But everybody, just because they end up doing something terrible, don't mean that they are evil and wicked. And they just was heartless. Something happens to people somewhere down the line and get caught up. Poverty can cause that. Abuse can cause that. Things happen to us in life. So I just wanted to bring that out to let you know that we should stop trying to judge people as we do. Because as long as you live, you don't know what's going to happen to you. You really don't know what you might do. Folks be going through things. I don't know what it was about me. I could be minding my own business. And not only did the patients come and sit and tell me their life story, I had employees used to sit and talk to me, telling me their life story. I didn't ask for folks to tell me their life story, but they would just sit and just start talking. I did this, and when I was little, I blah, blah, blah. And you find out that people, see, we're so caught up in race. We so caught up in the vicious thing that has happened in history, and I understand all like that or whatever. But all this, even in all that, everything, it has happened for a reason. And that's why it's so important that we change it. You cannot fight fire with fire. You fight fire with water. Sometimes you can fight fire with fire because, you know, they put that ring of fire to keep it from spreading. But you got to use water. You got to find something to extinguish it. This fire been going on almost 500 years or longer. Longer than 500 years. And if you don't put it out, the only thing going to happen is it's just going to spread from one place to another. You can contain it here, but you're going to have the fire over here. We got to put the fire out. You cannot put the fire out if you have the same mindset as the people that you complain about. And that's what you see in the black community. They think just like the Caucasian. They walk like the Caucasian. They talk like the Caucasian. If it walk like a duck, quack like a duck is a duck. A Kemetic duck. A Moorish duck. A Muslim duck. You're still nothing but a version of the white man. That's all. You act like him, you talk like him. You're no different. Because if the black conscious community, if they truly was who they say they are, why wouldn't the people want to gravitate toward something like that? Because I was getting ready to say the N-word. But that's the truth of the matter. That's why. You're a Moorish N-word. You're a Kemetic N-word. Matter of fact, they even use those words. Because that's what you is. I'm not ashamed. Because even though it looks so bad, I learned a lot about myself and I began to change, I began to evolve. And I began to grow into the person I really was. Because when I first was locked up, I was a version of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Muslim. That's what I was. But that's not me. That's something I believed in, but that's not me. The incarceration caused me to evolve into who I am. Not a follower, not a servant of somebody. Become who I really am. Myself. I've always been a free thinker. And even when I was a believer, I still was a free thinker. I always was asking questions. Hey, this don't make any sense. The only reason why I was part of the Nation of Islam, because of my ignorance. I didn't know no better. I did the best I could. But as you grow, as you mature, as you develop, I began to see things for what it really was. And when I became incarcerated, everything, I had to question all of it. Everything I ever was taught, I had to go over it. And I kept some things and I pushed other things to the side. Because they weren't true. They were in error. It's not real. So I helped a young white guy. I never forget his name, Danny McEwen. And he came to me because he saw me writing all these grievances and things. He came to me and he said, man, you writing stuff pretty good or whatever. You can read. Can you help me with this? With this paper? What is that? My lawyer told me I can use this paper to get out of here. Now, this is how disgusting people are. You know this man can barely read and write. You know this man is not on that level. But you're going to tease him with this piece of paper telling him this can help you get you out. Now, what this bum, what this sucker didn't know, that he knew somebody who could read, who could write, who could interpret the information, and I took it and read up on it, and I got him released, which shocked them. The only thing I had to do was sign the paper, and he was gone. Now, the same paperwork didn't work for me, but now I got an idea what I need to do. So now it's time for me to start going to the law library and start reading up on this stuff myself. Trial and error. See, this what you cannot be afraid of failure. I kept failing because I didn't know what I was doing, but I just kept trying. It's like picking a lock. But sooner or later, those tumblers, they're going to align. And I learned how to do that legal work. And the straw that broke the camel's back, these evil ass people back, was when I learned how to file a restraining order. And I filed a restraining order on the ass. Now, mind you, people been laughing and giggling. But when I start taking them to court, all the laughing, all the giggling, even people in my family, they were like, damn. When I start making those moves, start giving these people an ass whooping, all that laughing and giggling stops. When you take people to court, all that laughing and giggling stops. They ain't laughing and giggling no more. And the judge told me on the restraining order, he told them in their face, this man presented himself intelligently. They thought I was the lawyer because I had my suit on too. And he told these bastards, I'm not going to render a judgment today, but if this man come back again, and based on what I heard today, if what he is saying is true, you should be embarrassed, and the state of Missouri should be embarrassed about this type of behavior. If he comes back again, there will be a trial. That scared the hell out of them. And that opened up the door for me to get out. And when I was on my way out, all the laughing, all the making mockery, oh, you gonna die in here, you shows is crazy, but all that stuff stopped. Why you not laughing now? Why you not giggling now? And when I left, I had a cell phone, I had a car, I was making more money than many of those people, employees was when I left. Where's the giggling? Where's laughing at? That's what's going to happen. Don't be scared. You got to fight. That's what will happen if you're willing to sacrifice, if you're willing to fight and get the appropriate knowledge and fight these pieces of trash. They're not as tough as you think they are. Everything has an Achilles heel. In martial arts, I was told it's not really the strength. When you breaking boards, when you breaking bricks, it's not really the physical strength that breaks the boards, that breaks the bricks. It's how it's hitting the weak spot. Concentrate your energy in that weak spot. It'll make the rest crumble. The right knowledge. The right knowledge. Y'all still with me? Welcome to Soul Liberation Day 2026. Our message and the question that we raised today: are Black Americans worthy, or do Black Americans deserve the promised land like Dr. Martin Luther King spoke of? Do you know that we could be the greatest generation ever produced? We have that potential. Everything is on our side. Everything has lined up just right for you and me to solve this problem once and for all. Do you understand? You have the potential. But potential don't mean that you're going to live up to it. It's like an egg. Every egg a chicken lay has the potential to become another chicken. But something can go wrong. It's not fertilized. Something in the inside go wrong. It's not the chicken didn't lay on it properly. Keep the right temperature on it. Something can go wrong. Or it can get ate. Woo! Or it can get ate. Woo! And that's what you and I are in this country. We can't live up to our potential because something is eating us. And we're not allowed to grow. We're not allowed to manifest ourselves. So you need the right knowledge. And the right knowledge takes us, of course, out of the European or the white matrix. But it also takes you and me up out of the black matrix. All this aboriginal and the Kemetic and black, white and the melanin and all. Nobody cared nothing about that type of stuff. It was all about nation. So you caught up in the for us. Elijah Muhammad to come back. You're waiting on. You hope that the teachings of Noble Drew Ali will do something special. Been whatever. We're waiting on the rise because I don't think nobody else taught that. So, he's the Black Messiah. Hey, everybody! Wow, he's the Black Messiah. He's the Black. I don't know. We always think. I don't know. We have an unrealistic way of looking at things. But now many of us, we use that terminology that J. Edgar Hoover invented. What if the Black Messiah is not what you want him to be. Just like many people ask white folks, when Jesus come back, what if he's black with a big afro? Oh, they just ignore it. That's impossible. The Messiah, God, or the black Messiah, or a messenger of God, must be in the form that you believe in. Otherwise, you won't accept it. But what if they don't come in the manner that you want them to? Then there's a problem. I guess you're going to miss your Messiah. So in the scriptures it also say, he came unto his own, and his own received him not. Leadership is not about a popularity contest. Leadership is about who is competent, who can bring the best ideas in order to solve a problem or to make certain actions that benefit the people the most. I want to serve you. I don't care if I have to dress in a garbage bag. I want my people who I serve, I want them to do good. That's leadership. It's not a popularity contest. I'm very humble when I say this. I don't give a damn how popular these people are. If you put me on the same stage with Farrakhan or Nuri Muhammad or Ben X or Sanetta or whoever you want to be, oh my God, whoever you want to be, Mr. Leader, put us all on the same stage, give us the same opportunity, I will beat them coming before the people. I already know. I already know. They're not offering nothing. They already have thousands of people and don't do nothing with them. That'll be the first thing that I say to the people. Minister Farrakhan has thousands of people. Sanetta has thousands of people listening to him. Thousands of people listening to Umar Johnson. What have they produced? That'd be the first thing that I hit them with. They have no plan. They have no vision. They just have talk. They have no goals. They have no purpose. They don't know what the hell they talking about. They don't know what the hell they doing. That's the reality. You won't accept the black Messiah because the black Messiah or the Savior has to be in the package, in the vessel that you believe he or she should be. Black Americans. See, we love dead people. We love dead civilizations because you can paint them any way you want to. They don't never reference and brag about nobody alive because we can examine them right now. But you can talk about, well, Kemet did this and they did this in ancient Israel or they did this on the Indian tribe 5,000 years ago. You can talk about all that harmonious, righteous, and holy stuff because all of it is dead. And you can paint it any kind of way that you want to because it's dead. They love Malcolm, but when Malcolm was alive, his own people allowed him to be murdered and wasn't able to hold up what Malcolm left. When he was alive. Now you have all these people. I love him. You love Malcolm because he's dead. You love Elijah Muhammad because he's dead. You love Nobody draw Ali because they dead. You paint them any kind of way that you want to paint them. Because they're not here. I love Dr. King. But when Dr. King was here, you gave that poor man pure hell. But now he's gone. Oh, Martin, he was a wonderful, he's this and that and that. Because now he's dead, and you can paint him any way that you want to paint him. We love dead folks. You praise Assata Shakur, ain't do a damn thing to help that woman. You want to pray or put on this false face, talking about you honor H. Rap Brown. You ain't give a damn about that man. How long he been in prison? I don't see no YouTube video. I don't see nobody constantly talking about them because they might as well be dead, and now they are dead. And Assata Shakur and H. Rap Brown, they didn't really offer no teachings. So basically, you don't really give a damn anyway. All this crying and whimpering, like I don't even see any videos. I saw some memes about Assata Shakur and H. Brown. I don't see nobody talking because you don't give a damn. You can't use them to feed your damn sickness, feed your emotion. The wisdom of the teaching, the beliefs. They can't give you a bedtime story. The bedtime story. What is all this Kemetic stuff? Egyptian stuff. Just like the rest. And Egypt been gone. And then the real descendants, to my knowledge, the real descendants of Egypt are poor. In Egypt, Kemet right now, they don't mess with them. They are the real descendants. Don't talk about those people. They poor and they can't feed your sickness. This greatness. Oh, Egypt did this and the Egyptians did that. They can't feed your sickness. You won't even go visit them. I thought they was your brothers and sisters. These people are fake. They confused, they fake, they phony, they're a bunch of scammers. But you don't care because of the fairy tale, because of the bedtime story, because you're immature in the mind and you're not real. And you're not really ready for the struggle, what it takes. You call yourself a God, but you don't function like no God. Because God is not a plagiarist. All these people are plagiarists. All they do is copy. I follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the teachings of Noble Joe Ali. Ashra Kwesi said this, and Dr. Ray Hagen's, whatever. Nothing but plagiarists. Human Xerox machines. You are God. And you have no originality, no creativity. Malcolm X said this. Malcolm X is dead. He can't help you. You don't know how to take what Malcolm X taught and make it your own. Even Malcolm, when he was in the Nation of Islam, he took what he knew because his people were UNIA. And he took that mindset and brought it to the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam is a religious organization. The Nation of Islam has never been black national. I was introduced to the teaching of Elijah Muhammad. It does not teach nothing about black nationalism, Pan-African. Elijah Muhammad didn't say nothing about no Africa. He taught us that the earth was Asia and we are the Asiatic black people. He never said nothing about no Africa, nothing. He never taught nothing about black nationalism. The only thing he taught was because we all are oppressed people, because we all Frederick Douglass. Umar, you don't learn nothing. So you can only go to where those people left off when they died. The wisdom of Malcolm X stopped 1965, 1975. And that's where all these folks stopped. What Louis Farrakhan tried to do is he revised things and flipped things around or whatever to try to make it sound different, but it's still the same stuff. He revised it to make himself the new Elijah Muhammad doing the same stuff, supposed to be on a different level. But he didn't bring nothing new to the table, because if Farrakhan could bring something new to the table, you don't need Elijah Muhammad teaching. But he can't bring nothing new to the table, so only thing I'm going to do is revise and refurbish what was already put on the table and ride the jockers of another man. So what has happened is you find yourself in a state of suspended animation. Stuck in Egypt, stuck in the 1930s, stuck in the 1960s with the Black Panthers. That's where they stuck. None of it was successful. The marching and the boycotting that you learned from Dr. King, that don't work no more. We got a brother like Michael Jackson. May he rest in peace. Brother Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was an original. But then he wasn't. Michael Jackson was influenced by Fred Astaire, Jackie Wilson, James Brown, and many other artists, even Elvis Presley. Michael Jackson took a little bit of Elvis, took a little bit of Jackie Wilson, a little bit of James Brown. And he studied all kinds of artists. He studied what he saw from the old movies when he was growing up. He studied entertainment, period. And he became the Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson took the moonwalk. Michael Jackson did not create the moonwalk, but he gave it his own spin. And now the moonwalk, most people know the moonwalk because of Michael Jackson. And there were other people that did the moonwalk before Michael Jackson. But he's Michael Jackson, an original. Michael Jackson's so famous, they say he's the best known person that humanity knows of next to Jesus. Woo! But he's Michael Jackson. He's not these other people. He's not a Xerox machine. Michael said, and I paraphrase, basically Michael said in an interview about the people that influenced him, but he understood. I want to be like them, but I want to surpass them. I want to be better than them, if that's possible. Any teacher wants their student, any parent wants their student to be better than them. But when you get around black conscious folks, all this blackity black stuff, they tell me, oh, you think you better? You think you smarter than Elijah Muhammad? You think that you smarter than Malcolm X? Huey P. Newton? Dr. King? Noble Joy Lee? You think, Negro please. You think you smarter? But the black Messiah gotta be smarter than them. He has to be an original. Although influenced. Woo! I think the Holy Ghost hit me, y'all. Even though influenced by Elijah, even though influenced by Dr. King, influenced by Huey P. Newton, H. Rap Brown, Assata Secure, Fannie Lou Hamer, even though he's influenced, he got to be better. He got to strive to be better than his predecessors. He carries, the black Messiah got to carry the predecessors in his blood, in his being. How can I be 60 years old, ain't learned a damn thing in my life except how to copy somebody? That's embarrassing. And you insult my intelligence. And when you talk about Elijah Muhammad, that's not even his teachings. He said he got it from some half-white guy. It didn't even come from him. So why I can't be better? I don't have to go to no half-white guy or nobody to tell me what I should and should not do. They're nothing but human beings. They walk, they talk, they use the bathroom, they make mistakes. They're not perfect. We learn from their mistakes so that we can walk better. And if we don't solve the problem, we can put the next generation in the driver's seat so they can solve the problem once and for all. Because this slavery has to stop. It has to stop. No, maybe Umar Johnson and all these other suckers that you give your money to, maybe they not that smart. I've been around and I've had experience. And I know the same type of strategy that I use in order to get out of the crazy house. I know that same strategy will work to get us out of the ultimate crazy house. But you have become comfortable because they give you a pack of cigarettes and a Pepsi soda. That's what they used to give a lot of those guys when I was locked up. Keep them calm. Let you smoke cigarettes, give you a Pepsi soda. You're comfortable in your oppression as long as you can feel good. The black Messiah gotta look the way that you want him or her to look. If you have a rat problem, a mice problem in your house, and somebody bring you a white cat. Oh, I don't mess with no white cats. Who cares? The only thing you should care about is, will that cat catch these mice, get these rats out of my house? You tripping on, I want a black cat. I want a spotted cat. Who cares? As long as the cat come in, get these mice out of my house, I could care less. You tripping on the vessel, what it look like. It's just like a lot of the food that we eat. Some of the food, go to the grocery store, it don't look pretty. It's just as good as the stuff that looks pretty. A lot of times it's better. Oh, they got all them spots. I remember when I was growing up and I bought my first car. It was a rust bucket. People was laughing and giggling. At the bus stop, you laughing and giggling. My car is a rust bucket. You at the bus stop. I'm at work. You still on the bus trying to go to work. And then when we get off work, you got to go out in the cold to try to go back home. I get in my car. I'm at home by the time your bus show up. Who cares about what it looked like? As long as that car got me to point A to point B, I could care less that it was a rust bucket. Laughing and giggling. And you on the bus. You're not mature. That's silly. Silly talk. You'd rather catch the bus than have your own car that can get you put, because the car is ugly. Who you trying to impress? Who y'all trying to impress? Many of you who have come to my channel, I can come on my site, never ain't shaved in 2 or 3 weeks. I might not shave in a whole month. Dirty looking is not dirty. It's just an old t-shirt I'd have had a long time. I don't care who the hell am I trying to impress. Especially you, if you want me to dress better, donate to my Cash App. Buy you a shirt, brother. And I will, and I'll put on the shirt for you. I don't care. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to get free. I don't care if that cat got 3 legs. As long as the cat can come in here and get these mice out of my house. Y'all some silly ass people. Silly, childish. When I first got locked up, I had your attitude. I had to get out of that because the information that I was getting ready, if I just kept to the black people, I would not have got the information that I needed to get free. Then I had a white lady, woo, y'all, oh man. I had a white lady that I was friends with. She was able to be among my enemies. Oh, y'all don't understand. I had a white lady I was friends with. She was able to go among my enemies and tell me what they was planning to do to me, so I could already be ready for them when they come. Woo! You ain't hear me though. You ain't hear me though. She helped me to be ready for them. And she brought me law books. They told me they took the law books, which is against the law. They took the law books out the library, and the white lady brought me her law books. She was going to school for law. And she brought them. Don't tell them, because I could lose my job. Don't tell them I could lose my job. Here's the law books. They can help you. See, I escaped the trap. Am I going to marry the white lady? No. Am I interested in the white lady? I want to go to bed with her? No. But this white lady proved to me, showed me she was a friend. Willing to risk her job. There are many Caucasian people that's not like, you want to put everybody in the same basket. Everybody's not in the same basket. And if you get off your ass and really make the right moves, you'll find out what kind of power we, the people, because that's what the Black Panther was about. Power to the people. They didn't say power to the black people. They said power to the people. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said freedom and justice and equality for all. So I don't know where you're getting all this blackity black and I hate the white man, blackity black, and the people that you hate, most of them are dead. Most of them are dead. Shout out to our brother in the house, the MD20. And I can say shout out to the MD20. And we had our backs and forth or whatever. I don't care about that type of stuff. You get angry, you get upset, cool off, and you keep trucking. Nobody have time for that silly, ignorant stuff. We are the freemen. We are the foundation of Black Americans. We are soul brothers and sisters. We have to start looking out for ourselves. And those who want to roll with us, we roll with them. I don't give a damn who you are. Because I want to get out of jail. Listening to y'all ass, I still be locked up in the crazy house and you're laughing and sniggling and giggling. You trapped in this web of racism. You gotta mature. Trapped in emotion. And that's what's stopping you from getting up out of the trap and progressing. All of us, we start off as single cells, a sperm and an egg. And they come together and begin to evolve and develop. But they're not going to stay the same. They're not going to stay the same as they begin to evolve and develop. They begin to create the different systems for the one organism. We start off the same, but we begin to develop differently. Because I got to become a heart muscle. I got to become the blood. I got to become the brain. I got to become the liver. I got to become the kidney. Whatever. I got to become the bone. And we got to work together in order for this one organism to function. If any of these things are out of place, the one organism dies. Or you suffer from cancer. When some of the cells in the body begins to rebel against life itself. And it eventually will kill the organism. Unless you remove the cancer. We have to remove the cancer. A lot of this stuff that you believe is good for you is cancer. It is not life-giving. If it was life-giving, Angel Snuffing Up 7 wouldn't have to talk. I wouldn't have to say nothing. You'd be on your way. And I'll be right there with us. Even if it became violent, let's do it. I done stood all I can stand. I can't stand no more. However you want to do it. You want to do it smart, I'm with you. If you want to do it violently, let's do it. Sick of these people and their oppression. They sickening to me. They disgusting to me. You say it, but you ain't gonna do nothing about it. When the caterpillar, some people view the caterpillar as an ugly creature. Some caterpillars are pretty, but a lot of folks may view the caterpillar as an ugly little insect. But soon the caterpillar spins a cocoon, and the whole inside of the animal changes around. And out from the caterpillar comes a butterfly that don't look nothing like the caterpillar. And it can fly. Shout out to Phil Fox. Phil Fox is in the house. Appreciate you. The butterfly looks nothing like the caterpillar. Ancient people used to believe that the caterpillar and the butterfly was two separate insects or two separate animals. But they're different. And the butterfly is capable of flight. It went through a metamorphosis. And you wouldn't even know that it was a caterpillar. Have no idea. Two different life forms. Really one. So to reference the Bible, and it talks about the angels. And the angels have wings. This is you. Or this could be you because this is our potential. We are the caterpillar and ugly people in the sight of everybody else. We're ugly. We're just something to use. Something to laugh about. These reality shows and this nasty rap music and the women, the twerking, and we're just a nasty, disgusting caterpillar in the eyes of humanity. Just something to be used. But see, you have the potential like the caterpillar to put a cocoon around yourself. What is the cocoon? The cocoon is to put the right knowledge around yourself. So you can go within and change your cell structure and go through a metamorphosis and come out with wings. Come out like an angel. And the people will see you after your metamorphosis and they will say, you sure those people aren't black American? Are you sure? You sure those people was niggas? Huh. You gonna come out and you won't be identity confused no more. You don't have to sit around here and debate. Oh, I'm a Freeman. I'm a Pan-African. I'm an Aboriginal. You don't have to do all that no more. All that will be solved when nature gives you your wings so you can fly and go to the heaven, not only for yourself, but now you are in a position to show the rest of humanity. This is how we're supposed to be. And you don't have to worry about the scholarship and being a teacher. The only thing you got to do is go through your metamorphosis and be the new you. Don't have to teach nothing. Be the example. And the people will come to you. How you do that? And you really don't have to go to war with people like Donald Trump. You have to go to war with all these dictators and all these evil ass, wicked ass folks. The only thing you got to do is be right. But if they want to get down, you can get down. But see, when humanity wants to get right, there's no weapons they have can harm you. You just don't understand your potential. Because you keep yourself locked up in this box. A dead box. That's no longer relevant. We don't live in the 1930s no more. I was born in the 1960s. I can't wear 1960s shoes no more. I look like a clown trying to dress the way I used to do when I was a child in the 1970s. That's over with. They consider that a costume, or maybe some fashion designer would try to bring the fashion back again. But you look like a clown trying to be something from the past that no longer exists, something that you never was. I'm Batman. Batman is a fictional character. Batman is a fictional character. You can't be Batman. It's a costume. You can't be people in 1930, 5,000 years ago, on an Indian reservation 500,000 years ago. That's not you. You got to be who we are. Those things are part of us, part of your history, but they're not you. That's why Michael became Michael Jackson. He could have easily tried to copy James Brown or Jackie Wilson, whomever. He had to become who he was, how I feel. But he did not never deny those who came before him. You think I'm telling you, oh, don't talk about Kemet. Don't talk about Noble Joe Ali. Don't talk about, I've never said that. And I don't talk that way. I'm saying we need to be who we are. Take from that. But be who you are. We're not those things. Shout out to our brother Eric Bell in the house. Thank all of you for coming here and making this a wonderful Soul Liberation Day. I really didn't feel like coming and talking, but I said to myself, if I never say anything, at least I should do Soul Liberation Day if I can. And so that's the mission. No matter what happens in life, as long as I'm alive, I'm going to try to come and give this Soul Liberation Day message, because Soul Liberation Day was created not only because to celebrate my own celebration from my incarceration, but it's the celebration of us as a people finally getting up out of the grip of this crap that got us messed up. We've had all this blackity black scholarship stuff for 100 years, including at least 20 years on YouTube, social media. It has done nothing for us. That's not my fault. Why you want to get angry at me? Get upset. Be emotional. Because it's true. That's why it hurts so much, because it's true. You don't want nobody around to remind you that it's not working. It interferes with your fairy tale and your bedtime stories. I want to say this in conclusion. The question that we raise on this message, this talk, do Black Americans deserve a promised land? The promised land, like Dr. King spoke of. Do Black Americans deserve, as the Christians say, do we deserve to go to heaven? I would say it's not the fact that you don't deserve. We do deserve. The question is not deserve. The question is, do you qualify? Have we earned? Because nobody gonna give you nothing. That's what you waiting on. You think somebody gonna give you something. You think Jesus gonna come out the sky and give you something. You think the white man gonna give you 3 or 4 states. There ain't nobody gonna give you nothing. You gotta take it. You gotta earn it. It's not gonna happen that way. You can do it a smart way to the best of your ability. Or you can say, damn it, I'm going for it. And do it violently if necessary. But you're not going to be able to get enough people. Well, first of all, you ain't going to do a damn thing. You're just going to talk. And the people don't have the mindset. They don't have the mindset. They don't understand. Why should I die? Why? I heard Tariq Nasheed say, I'm not no leader. I don't want to die like Dr. King. See, they don't. But he take your cash out and take his family to the Bahamas and lay on the beach. These are the people that you're giving your money to. He telling you I'm not a leader. I'm just somebody that's here running my mouth. The best thing I'm going to do for you, I'm going to open up a piss poor museum. That's what it is. That hidden museum. That's a piss poor museum. The money that he raised, that crap that he got in Los Angeles, that's piss poor as a museum. You could have helped a real museum that's already doing its thing. There's nothing, there's no new information, there's nothing. A piss poor, he took the money, got a few items in there, and pocketed the rest. Just like Umar Johnson. Took that money, bought that piece of bomb shelter, whatever it is, and pocketed the rest. And still, they all still asking, donate to my cash app, give me your money. And because they give you a good bedtime story, there you go. Brother Taalik said, Umar begging to keep his bills paid. And if folks want to, that's their money. If that's what you want to do with your money, so be it. I don't tell people what to do with your money. At the same time, don't be crying, talk about ain't nothing getting done, blah, blah, blah. You don't want nothing done. You want somebody to feed your sickness. I don't do that here. I'm not interested. I'm old school. I was a baby, but I was there. I saw in real time what was happening in Assata Shakur and H. Rap Brown and the Black Panthers, Huey P. Newton. I didn't really understand. I was a little boy. I was a baby. But that stuff, it was exciting to me. What's going on? I wanted to fight too. I was a scary little boy, but I wanted to join the fight. There was children in the 1960s, didn't go to school. They got up and went to join the fight, the civil rights fight. Children, here we are, grown men and women. Don't do nothing, stay in your ass just watching YouTube videos. Go Dr. Umar, go Tariq. I wonder what Sinetta talking about. And you have children on the front line. Y'all some pitiful ass. Woo! Damn pitiful. So in conclusion, during my sabbatical, and actually the sabbatical continues, but during the sabbatical, Assata Shakur and H. Rap Brown and the sister, I forgot what her name was, the sister of the last survivor from the Black Wall Street massacre, they passed this life. As you know, as part of our Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign proposal, right here, where is it? Over here? Right here. As part of our Operation Exodus Mississippi proposal, which we presented in 2018, which they laugh and they giggle and the pipe dream, we wanted to get that sister in America so she can die in honor in peace. We wanted to help get H. Rap Brown out of prison. I'm probably the only one that was talking like that. To get our people in exile, get them home, our freedom fighters, out of these damn prisons. And if we had organized and we had got ourselves together, maybe this president, as crazy as he is, maybe he would have used his pardon power and did it for us. It's possible because he's not like, he's crazy, but he's unorthodox. And you come to him with the real, he probably, who knows? All he can do is say yes or no. But see, this is 2025. Had we been working on that and Donald Trump come back into office, you don't know, we might have been able to get Sister Assata and H. Rap Brown out of prison. We could at least been able to be in a position to help make things comfortable for them. But when they die, see, we love it when they die. Oh, Assata Secure, she did this. Oh, the sister, rest with the ancestors, sister. Or rest with the ancestors. The lady, I forgot what her name was. Somebody can put in the chat room. The last survivor in the Black Wall Street and H.R. Y'all fake ass. How much of this Cash App donation went to help support the sister in Cuba? How much of that Cash App money go to help support the brother H. Rap Brown when he was in prison? And he's not the only one. It's other brothers and sisters still in prison, over, to my knowledge, over 100. Nobody cares about them. But these were real freedom fighters. They're not fakes. These are fakes, frauds. These are nothing but entertainers. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know nothing. But the Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign was about getting those brothers and sisters in their last days, wanted them to leave this planet with honor, surrounded by us, and show them we love you and appreciate what you've done. That's what I wanted. But those who you give your money to don't give a damn about nobody except themselves. And this is proven. This is not allegations. This is not speculation. We see it. It's been done. So look, shout out to Armin Delight. Thank you for joining us, Armin. Long time no see. Thank you everyone for coming out. I was trying to live stream on our Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry channel, but technical difficulties. I couldn't upload there, so I'm gonna have to, as usual, dump what we're doing on Facebook and what we're doing here on that channel later on. We don't have no shame. We're not embarrassed about ours. Look how the white people came out for Charlie Kirk. They did all this stuff for Charlie Kirk. On the news every day, they want to make monuments. They want to change laws or give a law for Charlie Kirk Day and all that. Ours died. Who spent years in prison, who went into exile for us. We don't do nothing for them. You're not embarrassed. You don't feel no kind of shame. We acting like we love. You don't love nobody except being a comfortable ass Negro slave. You don't like me because I keep it real. You don't like me because I can admit to my mistakes. I can admit to being error. You don't like me because I challenge you on your bullshit. That's why you don't like me. And YouTube and Facebook and all this social media garbage flag me down and terminate me. Because they want to kill the message. Hoping that it don't get a start. Because if people start thinking like me, it's over for them. I'm too smart for their ass. And they know it. Facebook just all of a sudden, I'm like, damn, just start taking my Facebook down. I'm like, what the hell? I'm a nobody. Only 10 people listen to me. What they messing with me for? It's the message. The real message. Guiding us to the right knowledge. We're not talking from emotion. We know how to play chess with your happy ass. Will you make this move? I'm going to make that move. We should be ashamed of ourselves. In November, the president that blacks on penis ride, those familiar with this channel called The Arena Uncensored, black man that penis ride Donald Trump and still doing it. Donald Trump ain't gave them Negroes nothing. Haven't gave you nothing. Penis ride Donald Trump. Not a black face in sight. The blackest you gonna get, what is that? Some kind of Indian dude, whatever his damn name is. He's the chief of the FBI or some crap. What kind of president? Donald Trump. Gonna deny babies and the sick food assistance. What kind of person is this? But he did. And it's acceptable. There was no real outrage. It ain't me. It ain't me. and dirty. I didn't hear nobody, none of our celebrities, none of our preachers and people come out and say, this is wrong. What the hell are you doing? 42 million Americans on SNAP assistance, men, women, children, families, whatever. And really, that ain't no damn money, because we know that the biggest recipients of government welfare is corporations, McDonald's, Netflix. Hell, even Elon Musk come over here and get some of it. And you cry because a baby can't get a bag of potato chips. I saw black men on social media happy that single mothers hoping they can't feed their children, so maybe they will sell their bodies for $40. What kind of sick ass nation we live in? These are the same men that would tell you, well, you know, men supposed to protect women and blah, 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 only if the women be their slave. But if you are a man, if I'm a male and I say that my job is to protect women and provide and that type of thing, then that's what I'm supposed to demonstrate. You don't have to sleep with me. You don't have to do a damn thing. That's my job. That's what I said a man's supposed to do. So clearly these aren't men. These aren't men. Bunch of pieces of trash. What man is going to hope that a woman do bad, so I hope she sell herself to me for $40? What kind of trash is that? You're not men. Well, I don't protect all women, only the good women, you don't protect the good women or the bad women. You're a piece of trash. If I'm a Christian and I steal, I make all Christians look bad because I carry the title. It's simple as that. This trash make all men look bad because that's not supposed to be. We were brought up, we were told men supposed to protect women and children. You hoping that they sell their body to you for $40. You don't care if children don't eat. Then they talk about the family. How are we gonna have strong families when the men is pieces of trash? You are an example to little boys. They see you and watch you do this. You live in a country where people make mockery of the poor, laughing and sniggling and giggling because somebody poor. I wish that the poor and the middle class could rise up and take all this crap like they did in Russia, like they did, I think, in the Russian Revolution and the French Revolution. The poor rose up. They don't have nothing to lose anyway. They kicked the rich in the ass and took their crap. Unfortunately, they have the same mind of the people that they took out of power and became the oppressor. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to take somebody out of power just to be like them. So Russia and France is just like what they was back in the day, because the people that took over became like the people that oppressed them. Just like when many of these people are poor or they're middle class and they become wealthy doing whatever they do, rap music or some kind of business or whatever, or the lottery. They look down on poor people. They look down on the neighborhood where they come from. When they could go back to the neighborhood, go back where they come from, ain't nothing wrong with the neighborhood. The problem is it's been denied resources. If you give any place resources, you can make it good. But resources is denied because somebody got to do the work. So we got to keep a certain amount of folks poor and broke so they can do the stuff that a robot can't do. Because slowly but surely, they're trying to put the robots in certain places. And so the face of welfare is single black mothers, which is a damn lie. More Caucasian people are on welfare than black people, period. More people stealing fraud of welfare benefits is Caucasian people. And Donald Trump said in the state of Minnesota, those Somalis from Africa, you know y'all Pan-Africans, your favorite people, the Somalis, they done learn how to steal welfare benefits. And of course we know about these Nigerian scams that target elderly people, your favorite African folks. And they doing all this scamming and stealing, ain't giving your happy ass nothing. Don't even talk about your Pan-African ass. Silly. But see, again, our Operation Exodus Mississippi proposal, we would have been put in a position, whether the federal government do anything or not, we can take care of our hungry, our poor. Part of the proposal is to get our people off the street. Matter of fact, if you can, it don't make no difference. Get homeless people off the street. Nobody deserves to be suffering on the damn street unless they want to. Selfish, greedy, devil-ass type folks. They smile in your face and fake. That's why you stop talking about keeping it real. And they're going through the same thing. Yeah, I was going to say that, Brother Taalik. These immigrants, I even watched some of the videos on Instagram. Even some of these Asian people are finding out everything is not what it's cracked up to be. They complain. I've seen videos with Asian people complaining about these racist white folks, this MAGA stuff in America. Everybody is beginning to see things for what they are, where black Americans, we already know, we've been living with this bull crap going on 500 years. And 20 years, you've been giving your money, your time, and your support to a bunch of bums ain't did a damn thing for you in 20 years. Nothing. They laugh at the Mississippi campaign. What have they done? Absolutely nothing. The same nothing they was doing before the internet. The same nothing. We've done nothing since the end of the civil rights era. This generation has done nothing since the end of the civil rights era. Absolutely nothing. The biggest thing they brag about is the Million Man March. So what? Didn't produce nothing. They're doing the same stuff, debating and fighting, acting silly. So now you got, what's his name? Professor James Smalls, and you got Tariq Nasheed. They going back and forth with each other or something over Pan-Africanism and Foundation of Black American crap. You're both niggas. There's no need to argue. There's no need to fuss. There's no need to fight. You're both niggas. You're both slaves in America. That's the end of the conversation. You got black men happy that women can't feed their children. At the same time, we have black men missing. And then when you find them, they have mysteriously been lynched, and the death has been called a suicide. But you so busy worried about a woman cannot feed her children so that you can get some Alma said fighting over cornbread. I'm embarrassed because as a soul brother, as a black man, these pieces of trash calling themselves men, you are an embarrassment to me. I don't want to see people. I don't care what color of your skin is. I don't want to see nobody homeless. I don't want to see nobody having problems eating. I got to sell my body for $40. Laughing and giggling, women lose their SNAP benefits. They laugh at DEI, all these black women losing their jobs or whatever. How can you laugh at somebody who went into debt because I'm trying to better myself? Because when you're able to better yourself and be able to take care of yourself, suckers cannot exploit you. Folks don't want you to have nothing so they can control you, so they can exploit you. That's why they want women not to be able to take care of themselves in a decent manner. So we can go back to the old days where women was forced to depend on men and be abused and raped and whatever, and they couldn't say nothing. Our grandmother, many of our grandmamas wasn't happy. I never saw my grandmother smile around my granddaddy. My granddaddy was foul. He was foul with her. He was foul with us. He wouldn't eat at the table with us. My grandmother had to bring the food so he could eat by himself. And when he get finished, we could come get his leftovers. He'll go out on the porch and chew tobacco and spit all over the porch and have my grandmother on her hands and knees cleaning up the damn spit. And then I saw the white man show up, and my granddaddy was like 6'2", 6'3", or whatever he was. But when the white man showed up, he put his head down. Yes, sir. Them's cones show coming in, and that cotton shows in, sir. And woo! And that's the way these Negroes are. They'll go hard on black women and children and even elderly people. But when it comes to dealing with the enemy, dealing with another man, yes, sir, that cone show growing nice over there, sir. Yes, sir. That cotton over there, that's really looking nice over there, sir. That's what Assata Secure, that's what H. Rap Brown, that's what they was fighting against. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, that's cotton show growing nice over there, sir. Show growing nice. Only a few percent in the nation has degrees. Everybody don't have a college degree of any kind. We should be happy when somebody tried to better themselves and go to school and get a degree. They go to trade school and get a skill. We should be happy for that. Otherwise, your happy ass is on the corner. I can make better money selling drugs. Then get caught up, then your happy ass is in jail. You got Big Bubba pumping you in your backside. But you gonna laugh, you laughing at the people that go into debt trying to do better for themselves. I'll never do that. Never. They put drug dealers and pimps, criminal activity, over learning. And we don't inspire the children because the children, most of the parents don't care about education. And then when you do get education, well, you know the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, that's education, the scholarship. That's not education. Real education. Show me how to cook. Show me how to clean. Show me how to fix a car. Show me how to be respectful to other people. We're going to get out of here. I saw a video in Japan or China. 6-year-old children going to school by themselves. They clean their school. There's no janitors. They clean their schools. There's no cooks. The children, they 6, 7 years old. They cooking their own meals. They cleaning their own. They clean their own school. They doing all this. What do children do here? Lay on their ass, play video games all day, on the telephone, playing video games, acting silly. My nieces and nephews, they eating cornstarch. What the hell? They eating cornstarch. Watching stupid crap on TikTok, trying to copy TikTok dumb stuff. They don't know nothing. We don't encourage them to know nothing. It's our fault. The children are a reflection of us. And if the children are stupid, that's because the people themselves are stupid. So you can't say, I don't understand these children. Well, you don't understand yourself. Do you understand that you stupid? That you idiot? You brainless? A bunch of drug addicts? Porn addicts? Substance abusers? Booty crazy? Silly? Immature? I would say this. I don't know where, again, if there's a black Messiah, I understand why the black Messiah has not shown up. Because we don't qualify. What's the sense of the black Messiah show up and you ain't ready? You ain't gonna do nothing. You want to hear the black Messiah teach. Teach, brother. And you want to clap. Teach, brother, black Messiah, teach. That's what you want to hear. But in the scriptures, in the Bible, it talks about the return of Jesus, and it says that Jesus ain't coming back to talk. I come with a sword in my hand. I'm coming to get down. You done had enough teachings. You done had enough talk. The black Messiah come with a sword in his hand. I'm here to get down. And he's going to end up in jail and prison and probably electrocuted. Because these niggas ain't going to do nothing. That's the reality of it. Because they're not ready for a black Messiah. They're not ready for reality. They don't have the mindset. They're not like Assata Shakur. They're not like H. Brett Brown. They're not like our people in the 60s, which, as far as I'm concerned, was the greatest generation. We have the potential. The baton was passed in our hands. And we dropped it 60 years ago. and don't want to pick it back up. Because we're following scammers, believing lies, asleep, want somebody to give us a bedtime story to listen to. So it's not about whether or not we deserve. Yes, we deserve as a people. We deserve the promised land. We deserve some heaven being in hell over 300 years. At the same time, ain't nobody gonna give us nothing. We have to take it. Again, going back to the scriptures where it talks about how God told the Israelites, I'm going to give you some land or something to that effect. And when they got there, somebody was already on the land. Say, hey, somebody already on the land. I thought God was giving that to us. You got to take it. God said it's ours. That's the mentality of the patriarchy for the last thousands of years. I don't give a damn if somebody already there. I'm going to take it. I don't suggest that. That's not right. What I suggest is that be intelligent. Don't be like them and turn to bloodshed and violence to get yours. You don't have to do that. Because we all human beings, and whatever affect one human being will affect another. As the COVID-19 epidemic demonstrated. COVID did not give a damn whether you're rich, poor, black, white, baby, it didn't give a damn. It's killing you off. We got to find a way to stop it. It's hurting everybody. Drugs hurt everybody. As long as it hurt black folks, no big deal. Now we got meth, we got all these other drugs in the country. Oh, we're going to start blowing up ships. Boats coming from Venezuela. Because our people are dope fiends. Because all these things affect everybody. We need to go through a metamorphosis. We need to become brand new. So also, I know I'm quoting from the scriptures. This is Sunday. We in church today. But in the scriptures, it talks about the God. And the God said, behold, I make all things new. You can't stay the way that you are in order to change. We have to become new. The butterfly was a caterpillar. It became something new. We have to become new. You have to do something different. How you going to change something staying the same? Not to forget the old, but you got to become new. You got to do something different. I have always thought for myself. I was a believer in Elijah Muhammad teaching, but I still was my own thinker, a self-thinker. And I always learn from my mistakes. And the worst mistake got me locked up for 10 years. There's nothing wrong saying that I'm stupid. There's nothing wrong with saying I don't know. You cannot. 20 years on YouTube, this social media stuff. It does not work. It does not work. That's not my fault. And I thought that we want better. I thought we want to change things. I thought we want to do better. We got to do better. We got to change. We got to earn our wings and become that butterfly. You have the potential. It's not too late. But once something But once the bus comes, and you're supposed to be there at 7:15, and you don't get there to 7:30, you miss that bus, it's over. Everything is at 7:15, everything is right. Everything is aligned. Everything that you need in order to change yourself and make yourself, take yourself to that next level. Not don't pretend. You gonna see it you gonna see the substance. Not no talk, feel good, bedtime stories. You will see in real time if you give yourself a chance and break up out of the black matrix. All this race garbage. It's not getting you nowhere. Black people aren't going to unite like that. It's not going to never happen. It hasn't happened in 100 years. It cannot happen when you are caught in this trap. Arguing and fighting. I'm an American. I'm a Kemetic. I'm a Aboriginal. I'm a fool. I'm stupid. Whatever. You deserve better. But nobody's going to give it to us on a silver platter. You're going to have to want it. And if you want it, you're going to have to change. And once you get on that road, once you begin to really understand, you're going to come back to Angel Snubbed Up 7. Whether I'm living or whether I'm dead, you're going to say, damn, we could have done that a long time ago. Because in your heart, you know what Angel Snubbed Up 7 is saying is right. It's not about my ego. It's not about praising me. Look behind me. I got EnVogue. I got Malcolm X. I don't have a picture of me on the back of the wall. Because it's not about me. Who cares? It's not about me and my ego. It's about solving a problem once and for all. And even Elijah Muhammad said, I don't care who get the credit as long as the job get done. Which they do. They say one thing and do another. People say that. But they want the credit. That's why they don't like the Mississippi campaign. Because they don't want to give me any credit. But they don't have no choice because they know it didn't come from them. And they don't want to even talk about it because it makes them look bad. And if the people gravitate toward that and it actually work, they don't want that to happen. But again, like I said, there's other doors. Maybe I can't go through that door. Maybe I can sneak around and go through another door. We'll see. We'll see. With that said, I thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I really enjoyed myself. And as usual, I didn't want to talk or whatever, but I figured once it gets started, I had all these technical difficulties, which was discouraging. And I really didn't feel like talking, but I said, once you get started, and that Holy Ghost, oops, the real Holy Ghost get to moving, then you can do what you need to do. I will say, with all humility, not only is this Soul Liberation Day, but also this is my version of Saviour's Day, the Nation of Islam Saviour's Day, my version. And I will say, before Saviour's Day, this will be the best message, Savior's Day message, that you will hear for the year. If we would act upon the things that I mentioned here, you will see. You will see something tangible coming to us. No more talk. It's not about talking. It's about action. We not only have to save ourselves, but at least you want to put the children in a better position. I thank you so much for your attendance here and making this a wonderful Soul Liberation Day for me. And as always, you can share this video. You can copy this video or whatever. Give it to some people so they can laugh and giggle. As long as it gets shared, it don't make any difference. Because the good thing about social media is you don't know who's listening to you. It might not be me or my time to take the message to the next level, but somebody in the future could listen to these words and influence them where they and their generation will put us where we need to be. But I also understand the seriousness of our plight when you have a brother like Dr. Claude Anderson that said, if something is not done soon, we, the Black American, the Pan-African, whatever you want to call yourself, the Israelites, the Nubians, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever you are, you will become a permanent underclass. And you have doomed the generation. And that's it. We're too old. We got everything that we need in order to do what needs to be done. The only thing we have to do is decide we're ready to get this job done. Thank you again for listening. Jot down your comments, subscribe, and until the next Soul Liberation Day, or I might come out here and talk to us. If you send a message to my email on a topic that you might want me to talk about, I'm not going to promise I will, but I might say a little something on that. But right now, with my lazy self, I'm trying to get this new project, another project started, and only thing you can do is fail and succeed. If I fail, so what? But if I succeed, woo, it's on and popping. So let's keep it on and popping. Let's keep it striving and moving forward. Thank you again, everybody that came to the chat room and supported our talk today. Brother Armin, I don't know if Armin is a male or female, I forgot. Anyway, Armin and Brother Talib and Lester. Shout out to Brother Gerald and Brother Denzel and Brother MD20. And if I miss somebody, I appreciate it. Let me look through here. See if I missed somebody real quick. I think I got everybody that showed up on the live stream. Yeah, I think I got everybody that's here right now. Oh, Brother Phil Fox, yeah. He was here. Thank you so much, everybody. And until next time, we see each other again. I appreciate your support. And as always, like our brother Don Cornelius used to say as in parting, we wish you love, peace, and soul. And we are Audi 5000.